Listening can lead to positive change in your mood, your habits, and ultimately your overall well-being. And with the Audible app, there's more to imagine when you listen.
Audible has the best selection of audiobooks all in one easy app.
So one thing that I like to do on the Audible app is I like to go and see the bestsellers. And I just sort of scroll through and I'm like, okay, that looks like it'll be for me. And I have to say one title that really jumped out to me is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, which I'm happy to say is not my family experience. But it's by Benjamin Stevenson and people are loving it. So I think that's going to be the next one that I listen to. I can't wait to listen to it. And the best part is that as an Audible member, you choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. So maybe this will be the one.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500.
These days, it seems like style trends come and go as quickly as what you're listening to.
But when it comes to comfort, the iconic Crocs clog is forever, especially their super cozy fuzz-lined styles. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Crocs with the fur.
Plus, they have tons of great colors to choose from and places to put your Jibbitz charms. Your pair will be as unique as they are cozy.
Crocs are so comfortable. I've worn Crocs for years and years and years, and I'm never going to stop. They are good looking, and they're great to walk in, and they're great to stand in. I love my Crocs.
I think they are so comfortable. I have been walking all over my house with them. Also, it's like really nice when I'm doing my gardening outside, just to be in my Crocs as I water my plants, as I water my garden box, who I've named Gail. I love it.
So go head over to crocs.com to check out their classic lined collection and get a pair for yourself. It is no secret that weight loss drugs and GLP-1s are all anybody's talking about right now, but you don't need to be rich and famous in order to get access to these medications. Through Hims and Hers, you can get access to a budget-friendly weight loss program personalized just for you.
So here's the deal. Hims and Hers is changing healthcare by providing access to GLP-1 weekly injections with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, as well as oral medication kits.
Weight Loss by Hims and Hers is realistic, it's not restrictive, and it's focused on giving you access to the solution that's right for you.
Hims and Hers also connects you with a medical provider who will work with you to determine your best treatment option. And if prescribed, you get the medication as part of a doctor-developed weight loss program, complete with ongoing support, check-ins, medication adjustments, and answers to questions, 100% online, which we love, at no additional cost.
Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/Crappens.
That's forhers.com/Crappens for your personalized weight loss treatment options.
forhers.com/Crappens.
Hims and Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply.
There's so much that happens. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today from the high seas of the Mediterranean, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you? You're muted, unfortunately. Unfortunately, your microphone.
You're right. Hello. How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you. Good to be with you.
It's so lovely to hear your voice and see your face.
You swell.
See a little bit of Bueller behind you. Let's see some Bueller. Is that Bueller? That's Bueller. Oh, look at that Bueller butt. Bueller is Ronnie's dog for people who are new to the podcast.
He's chilling. How's it going with you? How was your Labor Day?
Labor Day weekend was so fun. I played so many board games. I really filled my cup, and I cooked a ton of food, and I just lazed about. I had a great time. How was yours?
It was good. I was a little under the weather, so I got shit-faced on NyQuil PM.
Love it.
And I just laid in bed, and it was just like one long days. I did a lot of like searching through myself because I was like mostly high on NyQuil and in bed. And so I did like a lot of mental searching and like, trying to fix like childhood issues. And I looked up a lot of mental diseases or like, I don't know, mental issues or personality disorders, stuff like that.
Great.
Because Jax from Vanderpump Rules announced that he has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So I was like, you know what is that? And I just went deep into it, and I was like, how much of this is nature and how much of this is nurture? Do I have this? What do I have? What are the things I have? So I started coming up with all the things that are wrong with me and writing down a list. It was a clusterfuck of a weekend mentally, but you know what? I came out. I'm coughing less and I'm crying less, and so
sometimes you got to cry.
I think I'm okay.
Less. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cry more.
I think I cried out the snot. I cried out the issues.
You either coughed out the tears or cried out the coughs. But one thing helped the other.
But I figured whatever my disorder is, I have the perfect job for it. So I figured whatever is wrong with me, I'm on the right path.
Truly. Now, some things to tell everyone, which is that we had a fresh new recap of Real Housewives of New York, Roni Legacy, Ultimate Girls Trip yesterday. I know that many of our Roni Legacy recaps have just been encore presentations of the recaps we did over when the show initially aired on Peacock. We had missed 2 episodes, so the one from yesterday is a brand new, fresh Crappens recap. It is not it's not a rerun, and the one that we're going to do another one next week. So make sure you didn't overlook that. Just want to flag that for people. Just want to flag your attention as per my previous email. The other thing I was going to mention was like something really good, and I don't remember what it was, but it was really good, and maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe it won't. We're gonna just see. We're gonna live, laugh, and love. But yeah, check that out. Check out our Roni stuff. We have Dwell Hello coming up this week, which is really fun. We were on Jeff Lewis last week. Thanks for having us, Jeff. We had a lot of fun. So go listen to that episode that is up. We were just laughing a lot of discussion about Waymo. So check that out.
He's really obsessed with those cars. He's got a boner for those cars.
I think it's a reverse boner. I don't think he likes them. Yeah.
He's got like a hate boner for those things. He really does not like self-driving cars. Like the man really just wants to drive. I don't know what it is, but he's on one. That's
I feel like
sure.
he's gonna have a Waymo car as a guest on his show and be like, I don't like the way you drive. And the car will just like honk at him and he'll just laugh and he'll be like, okay, you're regular.
Yeah. We've actually got some news, but it's kind of secret. So we're going to wait till next week. But we've got a really odd crossover coming up.
Yeah.
It's a big one. It's a crossover, which means we're going to go on their podcast and they're going to come on ours. It's a weird one. You guys are going to be shocked that we're doing it.
I love it.
We will be announcing it soon. And
it's going to be hilarious.
Terrified, but we're going to do it. And we are going to open the floor to questions and stuff like that to ask them Andy style. So we can be shady through you. But we'll do that. We'll announce that later this week. But for now, let's get on to Below Deck Mediterranean as a Southwest airplane flies over the house. Hello, Southwest. Hello, boarding groups.
Hello, Southwest. Hello, airlines.
Okay, so here we are. Below Deck Mediterranean, Season 9, Episode 14. It's called New Kid on the Dock. I feel sorry for whoever this is, because whoever the new person is, especially when it's a woman on Below Deck, you've got basically prisoners on this tiny little vessel who are so horny. You're going to get sexually harassed. So have fun with your harassment, okay?
Yes.
Before I even know you, I just hope that you're prepared to get harassed. You're going to get harassed hard, okay? Remember back in the day during the Bill Clinton trials, they were saying harassed all the time? It's harassed, right? Can we go back to harassed, or are we still saying
I like harassed more. I feel like that's harassed is like, it's like, are you talking about Harris Teeter? What's going on here?
It's very Bill Clinton era coded. I feel like people our age get it when you say harassed, because they were like, are you sure that she wasn't harassed? Like
harassed. How about harassed? Can we do that instead? If we go harassed.
Can we be harassed? Can we bring some culture into this?
Harissa
I'd like some harissa on this. Harissa Tomei. She's the Moroccan
drag queen. First of all, I love Bravo casting, and I'm so glad that they found Scottish Avery Singer. I was like, here she is. She's arrived.
Singer. It is. It is her. Good call.
It
is exactly her.
Scottish Avery Singer.
It's Scottish Avery Singer with a pleasant personality. It's like It's like there's a Scottish version of Ramona and Mario somewhere. Like, we did it right. We did it right.
Okay.
Right with this one. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's not appropriate to go onto a boat, okay? Yachts are déclassé, okay?
So she comes first, and Nathan is the first to greet her. He's like, hello, new stewardess. And she's like, are you Scottish? And he's like, no, I'm Irish, but I'm half Scottish, actually. My dad's Scottish. I'm Nathan. No one needs this. You know what I mean? Too much.
And also, don't say no when actually she's like, you're like 50% Scottish, basically.
Because there's a rivalry, right?
Yeah, I guess actually when you're Scottish versus Irish, it goes like, I guess that's more of a geographical thing. I don't know. I was like,
I feel like there's rivalries all over there because there's a lot of tiers. You know, we found out when we went on our Irish tour with the trauma tour guide, which is what I called him, because
Michael?
he related everything to trauma. He related
And
all
Bono.
of his tour stops to
And
trauma.
Bono.
And Bono. Yeah, but he'd be like, here's this rock. We love this rock. This rock was almost stolen from us by the English and took our lands and took our children. Like literally everything we saw, he related to some trauma and started crying.
And then you'd hedge it. You'd hedge, you go, but nowadays we love the English. Nowadays we love the English.
But we're full of love.
And this is a bar stool that Bono once sat on. Everything was about Bono. There was an article
The English almost took Bono from us, put him in the back of a van, beat the crap out of him, took our pride, took our joy, took everything we love. But we love him now. You know, we're good. Bono's back. He's got a condo uptown.
This was 8 hours of this, and it never stopped. It was great.
Like, seriously, how many times can this man cry in one van, you know? I don't think Ubers work the same. Like, you're like in a countryside with sheep. Like, you can't just call an Uber to save you. He's like, you want to feed a horse an apple? I was like, oh my God, how's he going to... This horse was almost taken from him. Like, oh,
This guy flagged down a hang glider. I've never seen that happen before.
Literally did.
There was a person in the sky, and he got out of. He stopped the car, hopped out of the car, and waved his arms around like this. Come on down, save me from the memories of what the English did. I mean, we love them now, but save me from the memories. And the hang glider came down.
I've just learned not to ask. So Nathan just gives too much information. And she's like, well, nice to meet you, Carrie. So the crew's cleaning and changing over cabins because everybody has to change rooms, you know? Yeah. So Ian's like, wait a minute. So it's not just me moving. Is it everybody moving now? Like, what's going on here? Is everybody moving? Why is there a rope in my... Oh, it's not a rope. Sorry. Missaw that. It's just a bed sheet.
He's like, all these people are moving. I guess I really need to have a nap. It's a lot of moving. I'm gonna nap for the next 3 hours.
I'll just be taking snack time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carrie comes in and everything, and Sandy's like, hi, we are so happy to have you. God, and I love that you do some mixology. That's really cool. I mean, clearly you've had experience on yachts and you've been in it for a while. So we're just really happy to have you on board here. Do you understand how to do basic things like if someone's shirt says Sandy, you put it in Sandy's closet? That's not confusing to you, right?
Well, she's doing that thing where instead of asking things, she's just putting things upon this girl and just being positive, you know, because Captain Sandy's all about like positive attitudes and stuff. Like she even used to tour the country giving like, I'm a woman in power speeches. So I think that she's doing that thing where she's putting positive traits on you instead of just assuming that it could be negative just in case. So she's like, wow, so good. You're so good at your job. You've been doing this for such a long time. You're so good at mixology. God, you're good at labeling clothes. Okay. Nice talking to you. Go do it. Go do all that stuff.
So Carrie's like, I've seen it all. Tampax fucking throw it at that wall. Once I was serving these hookers, by the time I walked back out over with a drink, she was getting eaten out on the couch in the main salon. I saw everything but a fucking breakfast. It was gross. I was like, so wait, you were a cast member on Vanderpump Rules?
I know. I thought you just got to Bravo. It's like you've worked here for... But yeah, what a way to intro yourself. She's like, I've seen it all. Tampax thrown it well. What? I had to stop that and rewind it. I was like, what'd she say? It's like, Tampax thrown it well. I said, wait, Carrie, what the fuck did you just say? Tampax thrown it well, queen. It's like, damn, girl. That's her first story. Tampax thrown at a wall and hookers.
Maybe that's a Scottish saying. Oh, I've seen everything. Tampax thrown it at a wall. It just means like, good morning.
Yeah, I don't know. So then Sandy radios Aesha to meet her, and Nathan and Ellie are talking, and Ellie's already hating this. You know, it's like, what is her name?
And then Nathan is like, Carrie, and she's Scottish. And then Joe's in his cabin, and Joe's having like an existential crisis. He goes, oh, I'm not into Scottish women. Like, oh, what's Joe gonna do? How is he gonna see his way out of this? Will he ever be able to be attracted to an attractive woman who happens to have a Scottish accent, which is not very different from his whatever accent he has, Liverpoolian Spanish accent?
I know it's not bad enough. Like all the negative qualities that Joe has portrayed on television so far this season, he's got to add xenophobia to the list. Just keep adding on, you know, just pile on. You need like a fucking workhorse donkey to pile on all the negative traits you're giving us.
And also, like, stop lying to yourself and to us that you're not going to immediately hit on this new woman.
Yes, and also stop assuming that anybody who comes on the boat is automatically yours just because you're like the only fuckable one left. Well, I mean, I guess look, it's below deck. We all know that it's true. But still,
Ian.
It's so funny that nobody ever even considers that, you know? I mean, Ian works. I feel bad for Ian because, like, you know, as a chubby kid and as a chubby adult and probably, you know, a chubby senior citizen coming up soon, I've always just assumed that people who work out a lot have everything handed to them on a silver platter. But now I'm just starting to see, like, Ian works out. That's the biggest conundrum of the season. Like, he works out and he gets nothing, you know? So is it more than just working out? I'm going back into a reverie. Let me drink some NyQuil. Goodbye. Goodbye, world.
If there's anything that we learned in the early episodes of Big Brother this season is that, you know, hot people have it really hard. You know,
it's hard for hot people, too.
So Aesha comes in and she's just happy. She just can tell it's someone who might be able to do laundry. So she's like, welcome.
And Carrie's like, oh, wow, you're a sweetheart. She goes, you're a sweetheart. You're a huge help. You don't even understand what you've done for me. You come a long way, really. It's like, could you wipe the snot off your face? Like, why are you sobbing so hard? Aisha's like at the end of the longest race of her life. You know, I'd like to thank my mother for always supporting me. It's like ugly crying. Like, girl, you got a new maid. Calm down.
Can I have so much of your service with me? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. Have fun, kids. So then in the middle of this, Nathan gets a text that his friend died, which is really sad. His friend died 2 days ago. And then we go back to Aesha bringing Carrie around and showing her things. And she's like, sorry, everything's a mess because we just started changing the cabins. And also, the other stews have no idea what they're doing. Look, there's Bree ironing a ceiling fan.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I finished saying this Bree ironing a ceiling fan. I look at you. I'm like, oh, Ronnie just got a text that distracted him.
I did. There's contractors up there.
I knew
missing wood.
You have. I can tell when you get a construction text because you have a different face. Like there's one thing
and
when
I
you get
to keep
like,
the stupid
because the construction text messages are the only things that truly take you out of it. Because
I usually keep this off. It's so unprofessional. I have my phone turned off during the show usually, but like my ringer, it's so unprofessional. I get it. I'm sorry, audience, but man, these guys, you know, they need stuff. Look, what are you going to do? Okay. So she's ironing a fan for poor fucking Brie, man. I actually feel bad for Brie because at this point, it's like, I feel like she should know. I feel like this is the stuff going on with my mental stuff. Like you should know by now, but you just don't understand why it's not working out, you know? And that is very Brie, just being like, but I don't understand what is happening with the laundry. I just don't know what is happening.
Let me tell you something. I do not feel bad at all for this person. Okay, she
this
cannot
garden gnome of a human being.
This Travelocity mascot. I do not feel bad for her. I'm sorry. This is not a career for her. She needs to be doing something else. I don't know what it is. She cannot read a label and put it in the right place. And then she has everyone covering for her. And honestly, I thought it was really shitty that she had a nice heart-to-heart with Ellie like 2 episodes ago about like, fuck Joe, and then immediately went from there to hooking up with him in the bathroom. I thought that was fucked up, and that's bullshit. And I just don't feel sorry for this girl anymore.
Well, she did hook up with him, but then immediately dump him. I mean, look, I figure it's like when I'm like, you know what? I've had it. I'm sick of being led around the neck by calories. I'm going on a diet after I finish this tub of ice cream. You finish the ice cream first. What are you going to do? Throw it away? No.
It's one thing to make a proclamation like that to yourself, but it's one thing. Imagine if I said to you, Ronnie, okay, Ronnie, we're going to get through this together. We pledge we are no longer going to have ice cream together. We are going to stick through this. We're going to be better about our bodies and what we put into our bodies. And you say, yes, absolutely, Ben. I'm like, yes. And then I go from there and have some ice cream. And then I think that's bullshit. I think that's wrong. It'd be one thing if I break the promise to myself, but if you break the promise to someone else, I think that's rude.
Yeah.
Or at least that quickly.
I just really want ice cream, so I'm really getting upset. It's an emotional day. It's an emotional day here. I'm from Glasgow, Scotland. I think I have one of the worst Scottish accents going, basically. It's like 10 picks against the wall.
Certainly what I hear in my head, the automatic thing is, oh, well, you can drink then. To which I'm like, I can. Just not well, So,
oh, by the way, just to issue a fresh one, because I feel like it's warranted. Really sorry for our accents, guys. Yeah. We know they're borderline offensive. We apologize. There's nothing we can do. We're doing as much as we can.
It's a lot to do all these pivots. Okay, it's one thing if everyone has the same accent and we can sort of just get into that accent a little bit. But like honestly, the back and forth between Scottish, Irish, South African, Ellie.
And we've also got Joe's Irish, Italian, English, Welsh, Scottish. Whatever the fuck is going on. There's too much.
It's I feel like sometimes I'm doing an offensive Indian accent and I'm like, I'm just trying to sound Scottish, but somehow I've gone across the world. I don't know what's happening. It's too much for my little tongue.
And I know that you might be sitting there in your car being like, well, can't you just not do terrible accents? Can't you just be normal? Well, look, if you have a kid at a restaurant and you hand that kid a menu that they can color on and you know that they can't color, are you just going to tell them not to color and not give them crayons? No. You give them crayons, they scribble all over Ernie's face, and Ernie just looks like a goddamn train wreck. Okay? But that's called...
It's called art. It's called art. Thank you. That's what we do here. This is a podcast about art first and foremost.
Okay. So then Aesha's showing her the cabin and Ellie's giving her hugs. And Aesha's like, she's a stew too. And she points to Bree. Is this where Bree's ironing the fan?
When is she not ironing a ceiling fan?
A ceiling fan. So Bree's like, nice to meet you. I don't have your laundry. I'm so sorry I lost. I haven't turned it in yet. Thank God. I'm doing better now.
All right, so Carrie, this is where you'll be sleeping and this is your closet. Oh, thank you so much. Why are there so many captain's clothes in here?
Oh, my apologies. I mixed it up in advance.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
If you've heard of Ozempic or Wegovy, you've probably heard 3 things. They're effective, but they're expensive, and they're hard to get. That's where Ro comes in. Through Ro, you can access a compounded GLP-1 with the same weight loss ingredient as branded GLP-1s at a fraction of the cost. And it's in stock now, so it ships to you in 1 to 4 days if you qualify. Over 300,000 people have chosen Ro. Here's why. With Ro, you'll have unlimited access to your provider for support throughout your journey. Plus, you can start from the comfort of your own home. This means no waiting weeks for a doctor's appointment and no waiting rooms. Through Ro, you can get a compounded GLP-1 shipped to you in 1 to 4 days, all online. If you qualify, membership starts at $99 for your first month, excluding medication cost. Go to ro.co/join. That's ro.co/join. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information. Compounded medication is not required to and does not receive FDA review or approval. RX only.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites, like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies, like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee for your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
So Joe sees her and he's like, do you want a shot of Grey Goose to soothe yourself in, girl? And she's like, oh my God, you're going to absolutely wake me up then, aren't you? And he's like, come on, you're Scottish. She's like, I'm never going to live this down. What is with people just piling on to Scottish people and calling them drunks?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
So Bree is, she tells Jono, she goes,
He sounds like Nathan, but a lot more hardcore.
and he's like, it's a lot right now. So Joe then tells Nathan, I'm not gonna lie, she's better than Ellie and Bree. Oh, well, thanks for being your brutal honesty there. Like, of course you were gonna say that at this point. And so Nathan's like, he's like, really? You've done both of them when you were drunk, so he goes, yeah, but she's Scottish though, so I don't know. Oh, I like him.
Yeah, but you're Joe.
Yeah. Him
You
acting
have,
like he has
no
a
leg to
modicum
stand
of
on here.
restraint is ridiculous.
Yeah. And also acting like he's on any plane to judge anybody is crazy. So, Aesha's like, you're going to be like so nice and fresh, unlike these other ones. I mean, I don't want to be rich, just old, moldy, disgusting, used. But not you. You're new. You're like a new, not old, disgusting teddy bear missing its eyes and an arm. You know what I mean? Not literally. I wouldn't be mean to him if it was literally, but figuratively, they're disgusting. But you're so new. I mean, Aesha, calm it down. My God. No wonder Ellie's like, I cannot believe she is replacing me. Normally I'd be like, you're being a little sensitive, but every time Aesha turns the corner and sees the new girl, she's like, oh my God, I thought you were a dream.
Oh, you've come down to save us. You're like the Messiah of stews. So she's like, oh, you good at cocktails? She goes, yeah, I used to work in a couple of bars, actually. Oh, great. Ellie's second, Bree's third. Well, Bree's technically third. She's more like a 45th. And I'm just going to work you in.
And Carrie is like, well, I love laundry as well. She's like, oh, hold on. Literally just came. All right. Good for you. Thank you so much. I came and cried at the same time. I'm just leaking from everyone at this point.
I just stuck my finger up me bum after you said that. So Carrie's like, I think that when you go into team work, it's kind of nice. And being an extra pair of hands, like I wouldn't mind where you put me. The third stew, fourth stew, whatever. It doesn't really bother me. And Aisha's like, well, I should probably get ready. Lovely to have you on board. Let me just add one more thing.
So then now they're getting ready for their night out and stuff, and Joe's like, you're getting fucked tonight, huh? She's like, I thought my accent was bad, but holy shit, your accent, listen to that. And he's like, your accent is terrible, to be honest. She's like, oh God, your accent is terrible, to be honest. And on top of it, you've got that creepy smile. What are you, Cabbage Patch Boy?
And then they're in
actually, Cabbage Patch dolls don't have teeth, but he does have Cabbage Patch doll eyes with that teeth together.
If Cabbage Patch dolls could actually open their mouths, I think it would look like Joe's teeth. So they're in the crew mess, and Ellie comes out and she's wearing these big heels, and Carrie's like, oh my God, I love that you have those on. We need to get you a pole, your shoes, a stripper pole for your stripper heels. Oh, you know what you should wear? Some slut top from Slut brand. They fit perfectly on sluts like you.
Are you sure you don't have a belt? How else are you going to collect all the singles that people are throwing at you, you goddamn stripper?
Ellie's like,
I've just met Carrie, and I'll give her a pass, but she's definitely not flying under my radar, unless we're talking about the hierarchy, in which case she is below me on the radar. Hierarchy is the best.
So now everybody's loading into the taxis, and Aesha, Ellie, and Gala and John are in one. The others are in another. So Joe's trying to get his, charisma on with Carrie. He's like, all you need to know is Nathan's with Gail. I'm your last option.
And
And Ian's asking, so like, are you guys going to split laundry, or like, am I going to finally get a new shirt after a few weeks? And Carrie's like, oh, I fucking hope so. I love laundry. And Bree's like, I'm excited to learn from you. I'm like, girl, it's been 9. We're on episode 13 or something. And we're literally on episode 14, and she's still begging to learn from people. Oh, God.
Yeah. So in the other car, Aesha is like, oh my God, I just remembered that we got a new stew. I'm going to start sobbing again. I just love her. Do you think I could marry my new stew? I'm just so in love with you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you forever. Gail's like, so what's the deal? What's going to be happening with laundry? I love that. I've never seen a whole crew this obsessed with like getting a shirt cleaned, you know?
Yeah, I know. Oh, well, she's been a chief stew, and she's very good at mixology and cocktails, so I'm just going to use her as a floater. And if I do remember correctly, Mary Lou Henner did say if you've got floaters, you're healthy. So it's great.
And Johnna's like, well, can we put personal stuff back in the laundry now? She's like, sure, just not fish, because the laundry will die. All right?
They literally are not even putting their clothes into the laundry because they're so afraid that Bree's going to mess it up and send it off into the abyss. Like, is that wild? Can we put personal stuff back in the laundry now? It's such a
Pretty funny. So now they go to dinner and they're ordering drinks, and Joe's still giving Carrie shit, and he's like, so do you drink so that you can get drunk? Is that what she said? What he says?
Yeah,
what
it's like, do you drink so that you can get drunk? He says something like that, and she's basically like, it's okay, I'll carry you home. And he's like, oh, thank you. I played the piano and the guitar. He goes, oh, do you now? How? Have you got a guitar on board? Have you? And they're just flirting, whatever. And Bree's like, I know that Joe's going to flirt with Carrie. Number 3, at least I was number 1. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's like braggable.
Yeah. Yeah. First to the horror show. So Joe's like, well, I like performing in front of the guests. You can sing then. You can sing with me. And she's like, you're definitely on the next level, by the way. And he's like, I am next level. And so Aisha's like, oh, Carrie, get away from Joe. I just wanted to tell you so. I haven't told you this before. Let me hold your face in my hands. I'm so in love with you. I'm so happy. You've changed my life. You've changed my life.
We're like so chuffed to have you here. You know, I've joined Mid Chatter, and it's not an easy position to come into because you have to come in and learn everything straight away and ruffle no feathers, and it's a really intense way to start in a team. Fucking hell. And then we have a flashback to her coming in. I totally forgot that she was a replacement. I think she replaced that crazy Italian lady, Lara. Remember Lara? She's like, this is how I do it. But then I think, oh, it's me, Lara. I can do. So I was so mad she got fired so quickly. That was like my favorite accent. I was like, this will be my new iconic accent. And then she was gone. So of course I had to resuscitate her any possible way I can. I'm the ghost of Lara.
I'm about to be an icon. I'm sorry, Laura's been fired, sir. Damn it.
But she was the gateway to my success.
Spoiled again. Goodbye, Emmy. Goodbye, Oscar.
It was going to be hilarious. I was going to have this accent that I was going to do all the time and drive it into the ground for years to come.
Oh. So, they're just making small talk, you know, and Aisha's telling Bree that she loved her as a roommate, and she's like, but you know, we had to work it out, and Ian moving, and then Jono, and Gail's like, so Nathan's getting checked on by Gail because his friend passed away, but he hasn't told anybody yet. So instead, did we mention his friend passed away? We did. Oh, that's when I was like, dude, I'm sorry, Nathan. I'm sorry, Nathan. Because that's a big thing to ignore. But you know what? I do ignore trauma since this is all about my personal journey today.
Well,
that is a problem.
It also happened very quickly. It was like a very quick thing. And then they got back to the antics of the show. So Gail can tell that.
Do you think that producers fuck with them? Because haven't you noticed that it seems like every season there's someone who gets awful news on the yacht? Yeah, not crazy. I'm wondering if the producers are just fucking with people, and they get home and they're like, "Just kidding, everything's fine. We just needed some drama." Okay. Like,
Well, a lot of these people seem like they're kind of running from tough situations, so it's not surprising that tough situations follow them onto the boat. Although this is not, this is ultimately, it seems like this is totally independent of that. So my theory is a little weak, but it's fun to talk about. So now, he's acting like everything's fine. And then now it's time to go dancing. And Aisha's like, oh, Carrie, my favorite. Do you want to go dancing? I'm really pretty good on the dance floor. She's like, what are you? Like sexy dancing? Well, you will not catch me sexy dancing. That shit's for boring vanilla fucks. Oh, I love you so much. Please stay with me forever.
and Aisha's like, we were meant to be together. We were meant to be, you and me, like peanut butter and jelly. You and me. And Carrie's like, we were literally I came to save you. And Ellie's just watching this like, Aisha and Carrie seem to be getting along very quickly. This might mean some sort of trouble for me. I've earned my position on this boat. And if my position should be threatened at all, I'm just not going to back down. Will I just lay here and take it?
Questionable. So everyone now goes to the club and everything, and Bree is saying she's watching Carrie and Joe get into another taxi, and she's like,
Dude, not that I give two fucks, but I know my time is done.
and Nathan's like, no, I don't want to hear that. You're good at your job. She's like,
I'm not talking about that.
he's like, oh, okay. Thank God, I hate lying.
I meant with Joe. It's just, why does everything I touch end up disappearing?
So we are talking about your job.
No.
Why do birds suddenly disappear every time I am near?
It's because you're putting them in the laundry.
So Nathan's like, oh, God, Joe, he's like a dog with two dicks. He'll never seal the deal.
And he doesn't finish what he starts. So it's like he likes to eat, but then he eats, and then he leaves his plate on the table and moves on to the next plate. Because I was the starter, Ellie was the main, and now the girl is the dessert. Let's see if he finishes the dessert. Oh, wait. Where did the dessert go? I've lost the dessert. Dessert?
So is he just sampling?
You've lost your figurative dessert?
I have.
So she's basically saying that Joe has been served an appetizer, an entree, and dessert. Maybe he's just saving space for dessert.
I mean, the way she's putting it, it sounds absolutely natural what he's doing,
I mean, who does that? They go from appetizer to main entree to dessert.
Who has
Why
a
not
progression in their meal?
Yeah. What do you want him to commit and just sit with an appetizer all night? You'll never turn the table. I don't know. You need to think this one through.
He didn't finish his appetizer before he went on to the entree. But then, to be fair, maybe Jono was cooking.
Maybe there was like Ozempic. Like, don't judge people. Don't judge us on our journeys.
Portion control. It's okay to leave stuff over. It's not nice, ecologically and environmentally, but for the body, it's okay to leave things over.
Yeah, so Carrie and Joe are dancing. She seems like she's trying to friend zone him, I mean, at least with the dancing she's showing him, because it's very like box steppy kind of dancing.
It's like Scottish.
And
she's like, she's teaching him Scottish dancing, right? She's like, I'll teach you some Scottish dancing. Go and get him, go and get him, go ye. That's from Brigadoon, everyone. Thank you.
Oh.
My Scottish music.
Should have known. I should have known. So she's like, my friends back home will tell you I'm a flirt. I'm a pathological flirt. But I think my friendliness sometimes comes off as flirting. A guy that I worked with sent me this little care package. A care package, can you imagine? I guess I was flirting with him. You really know you flirted with someone when you get something in the mail that says care on it. What is this? Some peanut butter, some crackers, and a hair tie. He had it bad, that one. He had it real bad. There were a couple of empty jars. What am I going to do with that fucking care package?
The weirdest part is that the care package also included Captain Sandy's clothes. Oh, that is where they are.
I meant to send that care package to my mom.
I love that that's her big story. She's like, wow, guess I really flirted too hard on my last boat. Got a care package.
I would flirt with every one of them, and I got little care packages. I like a care package.
This is funny. You really had that guy's dick in a tizzy. Sent you a care package. Fuck yeah. So then she's like, she's like saying that she's just kind of like, okay, here's a friendly hug, care package guy. So then Nathan's just getting shit-faced for the pain. And then he finally tells Gail what's going on. And he tells us. He doesn't tell Gail. He's telling us. So he's telling us that he got a text telling him that his friend passed away from cancer and that he knew he had cancer, but it just seemed like he was going to be okay. Oh, fucking hate. Fuck you, cancer.
I know.
Hate cancer.
Terrible. It's like these stories always make me petrified. So it's terrible. His Nathan and his poor friend who passed away. But he's keeping it on the inside. So everyone gets into into the bands, and Nathan is definitely like a little surly, and he's holding it on the inside, and he's saying how he just wants to relax. And Gail says something, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up!" And then Aesha's
like, oh, hell no. She's like that. Yeah. She's like, no. And, Aesha jumps into her protective mode, which we've seen on this show.
And Gail's basically like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It was my fault. And Aesha crawls in the backseat. Like, this is where Aesha's so good, is that she, like you said, protective mode. She just jumps right in and she cuddles up on her and just like reassures her. And it's basically like, no, you don't talk to Gail that way.
Yeah, and Nathan's just like, you're giving me too much shit, I can't deal. And she's like, sorry. And she's like, no, don't you apologize. Don't you dare apologize. How could you be so sad? We literally had someone save our lives. Can I get a round of applause for Carrie? Just come on, everybody. And so Bree, back in the other car, Bree is like,
before all this, Ellie and I had a little drama, Carrie. And she goes, it's called Jotun. It's called Jotun. Fix it up. Not too good. You don't want to be getting mail with jars in it. That's a little bit creepy.
Cap called us into the bridge, and she was like, you girls have to sort it out, because otherwise both of you are going. So we've been doing that ever since, and it has gotten so much better. Except for, when I said, I won't sleep with Joe anymore, and then I slept with him right away. But don't tell her, please.
So that...
But if you're sleeping standing up, is it really sleep?
So Nathan is like having a reaction, and so Aisha's asking if he's okay, and Gail like they rearrange, and Gail basically is like, what's going on? And then he finally,
because Aisha's come to sit in between them, and Gail's like, no, I want to talk to him. So she crawls back over Aisha, and so Nathan tells her that his friend passed away, and I see why he might have wanted to hold that news for a bit. Because he tells her, and then immediately,
so he's crying. It's very sad, and then he's saying how he has to talk to his mom. And so they arrive at the dock, and then Nathan and Gail walk off to a corner to talk, and they are like talking and crying. And Aisha goes into Joe's cabin. And she's like, Joe, you really need to support your friend tonight. He's like, why? What's going on? His friend died of cancer. So he's like, oh shit. And he's like bummed because he was going to plan to hit on Carrie tonight, and now he can't because he has to be like a good friend.
So then, sorry, I didn't know that was the end. So
just leave me hanging here. Just leave me hanging.
I was waiting for an end, but I didn't know that was it.
That was
so then
that was it.
So Nathan talks about how his mom was going through cancer tests, but she thankfully was cleared, and how he never talks about his feelings and his emotions, and that's the thing they do in his family, which is just let things go and never talk about anything and never express themselves. And I have to say, he does a good job, I think, on the show of expressing himself and his emotions. So good for you. Break the cycle, buddy. You seem to be breaking it very well. Then Joe checks in,
dickish deckhands. I mean, I've been waiting for the other shoe to fall with this guy, and I'm like, I think he's a competent, good guy. Is this possible on Below Deck?
I never trusted on this show. I never fucking trust it. And also, I need to get to a second season because, there's like that guy what's his buns? Asher. What was his Ashton?
Ashton.
What was the guy who
Ashton.
was like a hero, and then he just got another season and just became a fucking monster?
Yeah,
oh my God.
that's true.
The guy almost got his leg taken off or whatever. So anyway, Joe tries to comfort him, but he's not really very comforting, because he's like, my friend died. He's like, how are you? He's like, it's just, how does this happen? And he's like, it's life. It's just a little journey called life. And then just shit happens. Okay. Well, we all deal with it the same way. I would be like, this is my friend Ben. This is my other friend Jerry. Let's get into bed and cry about it. Okay. Let's both just put our backs towards each other and face a wall and sob while we eat ice cream.
Can't believe you didn't invite Jenny to that party. So then Joe's like, mate, I got your back. I've got your back. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, I've got your back, but for right now, I'm going to go try to bang the Scottish girl. Oh, God, I can't deal with Scottish women. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm the one who's really going through something right now.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
The robots have gotten pretty good at what they do, but they can't pour passion into what they make or give them a human touch. On Etsy, you can find something handmade, handpicked, or designed by independent sellers who pull from their unique experiences and bring their whole hearts to their small shops. Shops that prove that when you do what you love, you can help others find things that bring more joy to their lives. Discover hand-blown glassware, reclaimed furniture, personalized jewelry, hand-picked vintage pieces, custom-designed artwork, and so much more. The fingerprints Etsy sellers leave behind reveal who they are. Human beings determined to make human connections. So the next time you're shopping for yourself or someone special, choose extraordinary items handmade, handpicked, or designed by small businesses. Keep commerce human. Discover small businesses on Etsy.
So then we go, it's the next morning, people are waking up, and Gail is seeing a different side to Nathan, and that like she's seen a sensitive spot to him, and and she wants to be there for him because he was there for her when she was having a hard time with his ex. I was like, yes, and he was part of the reason why you're also having a hard time with your ex. So, but that's fine. It's either way. So she crawls into bed with him, and they like hug and cuddle and everything, and she consoles him.
So then Aesha has an interior meeting and splits everybody up on shifts, and she keeps them kind of the same way, but she says that she wants to keep Carrie on service to see what she can do, which raises Ellie's hackles. And so Aisha's like, well, Carrie outranks Ellie and Brie in her experience, but I don't want to upset anyone, so she's just a floater. Literally floating up to heaven like the Messiah, because God, she saved humanity. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cry again.
Carrie, can you kind of have... I'm sorry, Ellie, can you kind of have Carrie as your body this morning to help her find where everything is? I'm so jealous that you got Carrie as your body. Oh, what a dream.
So Ellie's kind of showing her around and stuff, and she's like,
This is how we do pillow. The back pillow is flat and the front pillow is at an angle, like that.
I think it's more like where are things, not how to put a fucking pillow on a bed.
Yeah. And then Sandy's,
Okay, all right. Hey, Jono, Ian, and Aesha, it's time for a preference sheet meeting, okay? Everyone come on down.
and then meanwhile, Ellie is still like showing Carrie around, and she's like,
A floater on the bow in the fourth stew position. And second stew, I'm more than happy to help her find her way around the boat, because we're in hierarchy for a reason, so just play a role.
she's obsessed with hierarchy.
I am second stew. I did everything to do for these two, and now you will come in here and you will be fourth stew, and you shall not even look me in the eye. I am Ellie hierarchy. Hashtag hierarchy.
If this girl doesn't follow hierarchy, it will be hierarchy. Goodbye, hierarchy.
So then Sandy's like, okay, guys, here we go. Charter number 8. So Murphy and Beth LaSalle from Dayton, Ohio. They're going to be a barrel of monkeys. They're going to be a bundle of joy, these guys, okay? They're going to be joined by 3 other married couples, and they're all celebrating their 15-year anniversary. All of them at the same time, 15 years. Wow, what a coincidence. Does anybody suspect that these 3 couples might be trying to get a free flan?
Anybody.
Now, as we all know, Murphy has put in many years broadcasting for FYI News, and she's never found a good secretary, but she's hoping that someday she will, and hopefully her house will be done being painted soon. Wait, do we have the right Murphy here? I think I got the wrong one.
I'll tell you what, some people don't like her, but she's very generous if you are a out-of-work contractor. Okay. Gonna keep you taken care of.
She's a single mom, and she really bothered the vice president one time. But you know what? She does great work. She
upset Dan Quayle so bad that he forgot how to spell potato. Okay. So that was a rough one. So anyway, they are paying a lot. So if they are trying to lie and get free flan at the end of their trip, you know what? We're going to give it to them because we're good people. Okay. So Aesha, what are you reading? Aesha's like, for arrival, they want ouzo cocktails. And that's so nice. You know, all I wanted was another stew and I got it. I'm so grateful.
Oh, God. All right, everyone. So just prepare. I just want to let the whole crew know we will be serving ouzo cocktails, which means that we are going to provide some free ear plugs for when Aesha winds up saying ouzo. What? I can say ouzo normally.
So this group wants wacky water game challenges with a yacht crew.
Oh,
fuck off with this.
Fuck off.
Please, stop with these.
Go drown. Go off that slide and drown in the water. Why are you doing this to us?
Well, they're also requesting certain toys like a pirate tower. Oh my God. We better get an inflatable tower on day 2, okay? And John was like, and for lunch they want tapas or small plates instead of full meals. I love that, actually.
Also, for day 2, I just want to point out that we will be... we're going to be hitting the gas on this yacht going faster than we ever got, because if we have a pirate tower behind us, you know I got to outrace it. So just be prepared, everyone. Outrace those pirates.
And John was like, and also there's a possible shellfish allergy. Uh-oh. And she's like, oh, Jono, let me give you some advice. Remember that. Shellfish allergy. We got that? Okay, we got that. We're going to try killing someone this time? Okay, remember that, Jono. It's a big test.
Remember it.
Big test.
Don't forget about shellfish. So Sandy's like, the last charter was a huge oversight on Jonathan's part. There's no chef out there to replace Jonathan, not in the entire world. So I'm stuck with him. However, he knows there's no room for error, and I trust that he will not make the same mistake again. I'm like, really? Because we've seen that deconstructed chocolate cake come up in a bunch of different forms all season long.
Yeah, he's going to make the mistake again. He is definitely going to make the mistake again. Also, I heard that Jono was on the after show blaming Aesha for not dealing with the plate being put in front of that lady better. It's like, wow, way to take responsibility, which means that it will be happening again and again because people like that. Well, you know, that's what happens. So
it wasn't
you can't even be like, I fucked it up, the end of it. Like if you're still going to try and put some blame on somebody.
But it's not like there was a non-raw option that went to the wrong person. They were all raw.
Right.
And Aesha even said herself, like she should have been on top of that. She should have flagged that. But she was so busy with Bree that it's like, honestly, someone almost died because of Bree. I'm going to say that right now. So, okay.
Someone almost died because of Bree?
Well, because Aesha was so busy dealing with, like, picking up the slack of Bree.
Oh, but yes. I see what you mean. So then, basically, she tells us, yeah, there's no one to replace him. Now look, could we find another chef? Sure. Could we find another chef architect? No. And you know what? It turns out that he was bad at both because guess what? He couldn't even fix the leak. Okay.
Yeah.
This boat almost killed somebody and almost died last week itself because it almost leaked to death. You know what? Unfortunately, we didn't have a decent chef or a decent architect on board. Boo. Boo to both.
Aesha, can I ask you something? I wanted to use these last couple of charters to learn anything else regarding the chief's two position because I want to go home and find a small boat and row myself into the chief's two's role.
Oh, well, have you seen the new girl, Carrie? I would try to be exactly like her because she's fucking amazing. She's like fireworks going off 24 hours a day. They never get old. But otherwise, I think you're doing pretty much all you can do to be mediocre. mediocres. You should just keep doing that. All right, mediocre Maddie. By the way, could you do me a favor? Tell Carrie I love her. Find her, hug her, and say this is from Aesha.
Yeah, Aesha was like, no, you're just keep getting more experience. This is Aesha's way of saying, I'm not going to take you under my wing. You have not improved the way that you were supposed to have improved. It's too late. You're hopeless now. And this was also Ellie's way of reminding her, like, oh, I'm seconds too. I'm basically a few feet away. I'm a few notches below where you are. And I just want to remind you that now that there's a new girl on the boat.
I think she just also wants reassurance, right? Because she's feeling insecure that she's brought in this new girl. So both the other girls think they're about to get fired. So she's just like,
So I just want to make sure I am still on track to be Chief Stew, right?
and Aesha, instead of being like, you're so great, you could totally be Chief Stew any second. She's like, keep trying. You know, it's like when little kids try to get on a roller coaster and they're striving to be as tall as that line and they're just not there and there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just say, grow more. Grow more and try again another day. By the way, could you look behind you and send Carrie forward? She's definitely tall enough for this ride. Carrie, get over here. You know what ride you're tall enough for? Hugs! The hug ride! Get over here, you miraculous lifesaver!
Carrie, I'm putting up one wing and I want you to get right on under it, okay? You're under my wing. Ellie, go take out the trash. So,
so she's like,
Oh, okay.
so she leaves, but she does not leave reassured for sure.
Meanwhile, outside, Joe is pestering Gail, still punishing her for daring to say that he is treating the women poorly. So he's like, oh, Gail, you messed up a little bit. Oh, God. Oh, look, the doors. Oh, I hate that. I hate those long strokes. Do small ones like this. And she's like, oh, wow, so much better. So she's basically like,
I feel like Joe is being passive-aggressive to me. And like, I don't know if he's trying to prove himself as a lead deckhand, but I really don't think this is the best way to do it. You know, like, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing. That's like very nitpicky micromanagement. Like, what's your game? What are you playing at?
Yeah. So then Charter's coming. And Carrie has picked up some toiletries. And then Nathan is talking to Gail about how sweet each other are. And then Carrie's talking about how fast she works. And she's like, sometimes I have to remind myself to slow down. I would just never want to feel it in my job. I think that's a reputation I want to uphold. I just always work hard. You throw a Tampax at me, I'll catch it in my hand before I even know it's in the air.
Meanwhile, cut to Bree spending a minute folding a shirt in half.
Okay, sleeve to sleeve, here they come. Okay, they are arriving. Oh, getting so close now. Oh, half a fold. Okay.
Speaking of, Joe is like, it's so vile. I just don't know what I'm going to wear. Where's Bree? I've only got one pair of pants, so these must be yours, these must be yours, Nathan. I'm getting very annoyed. I'm holding my tongue so you don't get fired, but what are you fucking doing down there, girl? God.
So then basically Joe goes up to Aesha. He's like, Aesha, I don't want to say it to Bree anymore, but I'm on one polo and I can't survive. And there's a disgusting Scottish girl on board that I definitely don't want to hook up with, so I need to be in a cleaner shirt. And he's like, you're on one polo, but we're about to say you can't have one polo. And he's like, can you sort that out for me? I didn't want you to go through. I don't want to go through you. But I'm wearing the same shirt for 4 weeks.
So then we cut to laundry and Carrie's like, this smells nice. And Ellie goes,
I use nice detergent this time. Is it good softener?
She's like, good stuff. Like, oh my God, now she's looking for like compliments from Carrie about what were you using before?
Why were you
Before
not
I
using
would
good stuff?
soak things in body odor and then spit on it and use that. But
I had no idea the crew was covering up for Bree because she's on her last legs. It just makes me want to explode. We went through a burn book. I had to separate the jobs in the laundry to pander to Bree because she swore that it wasn't her making the mistakes. It was Bree. It was Bree all along.
It's like, it's just too late in the season to even come down on her. I mean, it wouldn't do me any favors. I would just make her cry, then she'd crumble, and I'd be down to 3 stews. I just really want to finish with 4 stews, that's all.
Yeah, so she basically confronts Bree and is like, yeah, so found Joe's polo hanging up in Ian's room. And like, she's like, you see why this is such a frustrating position for me? Because I could have fired you and I didn't. And now I'm stuck with you and no one has their clothes. And I know you've worked hard, quote unquote, but you're no hashtag Carrie. Oh, the best. I love, God, isn't Carrie the best?
I love how she's like, I'm going to take care of this once and for all. Listen here, you do this one more time, I'm going to hug you so hard you're going to have handprints on your spine. You get it? You get it, girl? So then Sandy and Aesha are talking. She's like, Aesha, what's going on? She's like, nothing much. Joe came in this morning and he said, please, I've got no uniform. I mean, people haven't been telling me that they're protecting her, you know? And she's like, oh, gosh, why do you think they're doing that? She's like, I don't know, but I looked on the pants and clearly it says Joe and it's hanging up in Ian's cupboard. I just don't know what to do. The girl can't read a name.
Well, I mean, if no one tells us, how do we know? Like, I don't know. Okay, you know what? Leave it with me. I'll deal with it. Okay. Hashtag motivation coming up soon. You know what? I love that the crew likes to have each other's back. Like, but we need to know the information in order to correct it. But God, what a great crew I've molded that they want to cover for the failing one. That's what you call a team.
Listen, if we don't have information on what's going on, we can't not fix it purposely to get more drama like that leak for the past 10 weeks.
If we don't know what's going on, we can't fix it. That's why Norma's love life is so bad. We never hear anything about it.
So Joe is still being passive aggressive with Gail. He's like, Gail, will you do the pastoral with this, please? She's like, yes, sir. And he goes, and then I'll come down and mop it. Where's my shirt? Oh my gosh, that was there with my underwear. And she's like,
But I put them in here. Let me look at the washer dryer thingy.
she goes, why are you moving my clothes? They were just right over there.
But I didn't know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. You're still fucking up with the laundry. What is it? What do you think it is? Do you think if we did a CT scan, your brain would be 60% smaller than the average humans? Why do you think you can't do laundry?
I feel like the system isn't working for me.
Okay, but whatever you need to do your job is what you ask for.
Okay, but maybe like little clip-on beads because everyone has color. And then if everyone has color, I can say that color goes with that color. Maybe like that.
Okay, so if color works better for you, then writing will just do the color. So just, get your head in the game, okay? And out of Joe's crotch, get it? I know that much. Okay, we've got 2 chatters left. I'm going to get you what you need. Some little beads.
And we see at some point, I don't know if it's right now, but we see that this is why I can't hate Brie, because we see that she's like,
Reddit. Hello, I'm on Reddit for stews. I have a very important question. What is best laundry system?
and people are like, use the color beads. So she's trying. She's looking on Reddit.
I know, but you know what's going to happen is she's going to get the color beads, and then she's going to be like,
Oh, so the thing is, it's hard for me to remember which color goes with which person.
it's like, well, it says on the wall, blue goes with Joe.
Oh, I know, but it is so hard to read.
It's just going to be one thing after another.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm colorblind. All of it is gray.
Why didn't you tell me you were colorblind?
I didn't know.
Is it
Well,
possible?
didn't you notice that you were wearing different colors this whole time?
I thought everything was same color.
Is it possible to paint people's cabins so that way I know blue shirt goes with blue cabin, blue beard, blue cabin, green beard, green cabin? Can we do that?
Well, I guess if she needs that, okay, we're going to repaint the yacht.
Well, I realized I was colorblind, so I was wondering if we could switch to smell system and we could just make everybody's clothes smell different.
I was wondering, could we make it one size fits all so that way everyone's clothes is everyone's clothes?
In previous yachting group I was on, someone promoting the group said, if you're a stewardess and need help, join this group. So I asked for advice. I probably should have asked for the colors sooner, but I was afraid to ask. But now I did, and now I will learn colors.
They're like, fine, we'll fucking get your beads from Michael's of Athens.
Michaelos.
Happy Labby Opa.
Michaelopos.
So, all right, everyone. Okay, guests are arriving. Change into whites. Pause for laughter. No one has any whites anymore. Okay, whatever rags you can find around the boat, change into them because everything else is lost.
So then Carrie's asking Ellie if they put sugar on the table for tea and stuff like that, or if they ask if they just want it sweetened. And I was like, you can ask. And she's like, sorry, I've got so many random questions. Aesha, where'd you like me? That's so random. I'm so sorry about that.
Well, they are random questions. It's hard to believe that you'll be considered to be seconds to anywhere because you do not respect the hierarchy and you ask stupid questions about sweeteners.
So then now the deck team is preparing to leave for their destination. Dun, 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 dun. So someone asked Carrie where she's from, and she's like, Glasgow, Scotland, hence the terrible accent. And they're like, oh, I love that. I love Scott. If you can't understand me, just let me know. I'll slow down. Just kidding. I won't slow down. I really can't slow down. It's in my blood. It's in my blood not to slow down.
Oh, is that a care package you just gave me? Yeah, I couldn't help it. I just heard that accent. I was like, I gotta give this girl a care package.
Loser.
What?
This is all respect for you. Loser.
Oh.
Loser. So then Aisha's like, Carrie's new. Isn't she beautiful? Does everybody want, let's play a game. Everybody go around the table and tell Carrie something miraculous about herself.
And now it's time to dock. They're gonna dock, or they haven't docked. Something's happening on the deck with Ian. So Aesha, meanwhile, is radioing about doing lunch, and Jono's like, "Girl, I'm very grateful I haven't been fired. But when you're on a yacht trip and on a busy boat like this, you have no choice but to keep moving. My mom had a tough life, raising two brothers by herself, having her own businesses. She taught me these types of lessons. You get a bad review or something, and you thank them for the critique, and you move on. That's it." I was like, okay, sure. Wedge in some biographical information randomly late in the season about his mom.
You get a bad review, you just say thank you, and you give them a thank you present, which is raw fish, and hope they die. That's it.
And then you change your career.
Yeah. So then Ian's like, lines are coming aboard, Sandy. She goes, are all lines free? Are all lines free? Hello, can anybody hear me? Can anybody? And Gail's like, no, they're not free yet, Sandy. Well, how many lines do we have left? Okay, whose line is it anyway? My gosh.
Can anyone hear me out there? I feel like I'm speaking to the void. Hello, 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 hello. Is it me you're looking for? Come on, someone help me out here. And Sandy's like, we're on the second to last charter, and Ian needs to know exactly where his crew needs to be, and we should be able to undock with our eyes closed. Although I don't recommend doing that, because then you just Captain Glenn it up, if you know what I'm saying.
Ian, you need to keep your hands off the lines. Let your team take the lines off, because I need you talking to me, Ian. You're not talking to me. He's like, copy. All lines are fucked. Drop the line. Ian, you need to communicate. Copy. Well, that was good communication. Okay, you know what? That was good, because you heard me. I mean, that was good. You're really doing a great job.
Captain
Gold
Sandy,
star for you, Ian.
Captain Sandy, I'd like to communicate something to you.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh,
I think I'm going to go down for a few hours for a nap.
All right, well, at least you communicated.
It's one of my favorite things in life are naps.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You're winning with me today, Ian. Go ahead. So Aisha's like, Ellie, I didn't say come. I just said stand by, because she's serving lunch. And she's like, no, not lunch yet. Jono, I'm not ready yet. There's glass flying everywhere.
It's windy. Glasses are falling over. Glass is breaking on the table. Excuse me. Glass breaking on the table. She's trying to clean it up. And the food is supposed to go up, but they're all delayed because of this. So Aisha's telling everyone, like, stand back. And Carrie goes back down to Jono, and she's like, well, I didn't know. I was just following Ellie. I'm just a floater. And he's like, oh, don't worry, honey. Bloop. This dysfunction's bad. The food's going to be cold when it gets there. And at the end of the day, it's my head that's going to be on the chopping block in Sandy's office when the guests complain about something that's cold. So I hope they figure their shit out. But this is not dysfunction. This is like broken glass on the table because of the wind, and it needs to be cleaned up. And the dysfunction is serving raw fish to someone who's allergic to raw fish, and then serving a cookie on top of a cake with a scoop of ice cream on top.
Yeah, and it's also lunch. Like, how much like really hot stuff is there? I don't know. Just do it. You know, your head wouldn't be on the chopping block if you hadn't fucked up so much already.
Yeah.
So then the guest keeps making this joke. He's like, wow, the views in Ohio are almost this good, right? Because at first she's like, how do you like it? And he's like, oh, wow, it looks just like Ohio here. he's really just shitting all over Ohio, this guy. And Aesha's like, oh, here's some melon and prosciutto. I'm glad this got served before it got cold.
Then it's time to drop anchor and stuff, and Carrie goes up to Ellie and is like, just so you know, I put a spare water here instead of that other fridge. And Ellie's like, oh, but the only thing is that with this fridge, you just need to close it like this. He's like, oh, I know it doesn't work out, but I just mean that like once you're finished, like we can swap that water out. She goes, no, I understand, you stupid fucking floater. She goes, oh yeah, sorry. No, I'm just saying that this fridge doesn't close properly and then it starts to leak. It's like a very tense discussion about... It's like a tense discussion about where to put the water into what fridge, but it's really kind of like Ellie marking her territory.
Well, water discussions have gotten pretty crazy on this show. Remember the season with the girl from Homeland and the other girl that kept fighting about like stock the waters in the fridge. And she's like, she's torturing me. She's just like torturing me. Like, oh my God, you didn't even finish stocking the water in the fridge. You remember that?
The girl from Homeland.
Claire Danes.
I was thinking, are you talking about like Veronica Balogun? I was like, no.
No, the season with Claire Danes and
where she was crying over everything.
Yeah, she was like this nightmare stew. I remember the guy was trying to date her and was like, I'm going to call What's Your Buns the next season. And she was like friend zoning him on camera.
He was Scottish.
Goddamn Below Deck. I can never remember everybody's name.
Another Scottish person. Kyle. His name was Kyle. Good Kyle. So Sandy, I'm like, remember when that happened? That was literally the season that aired right before this episode, before this season. I'm like, remember so many years ago when there was Barbie? She had issues. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to slow down here so we can anchor. We're going to anchor. So we're going to put 3 shackles in. Drop the anchor, everyone. So they're dropping the anchor. But where is Ian? Ian's missing.
Dun, dun, dun. And Joe's like, where the hell is Ian? Gail, do you want to free the jet skis? She's like,
I don't mind, whatever you prefer. I'm easy.
Ellie, do you want to go on your break? So she sends her on the break. And then Joe is like, Gail, I was going to put that carabiner with the blue jet ski. She's like,
well, what do you think I was doing?
He's like, I don't know. I'm just telling you. She's like, well, I was thinking of moving that down and putting the biscuit in between. He's like, oh, God, with Gail. Anything I say, unfortunately, is like an attack. I'm the lead deckhand. Man. So she's got to get used to it. It's like, oh, my God. You were the lead deckhand only because Ian bowed to your hotness.
Yeah, and
it was like, that guy's the hottest one and therefore the most alpha, and I will just give it to him, even though he clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. So then there's some costumes that are happening, and Aesha's trying on a costume, and she's like, do you like it? And the guest says, like, oh, that looks really good. And later tonight, it'll become a merkin. And she's like, what's a merkin? Is it like a pube wig? And it's like, yeah, it's a pube wig. You see a lot of them in Ohio.
So then Jono is checking in with Bree about what's going on. She's like,
I had a whack morning.
Because of laundry?
Yeah, but it's just like stupid, dumb mistakes. I'm like one of the biggest babies, and, maybe I'm one of the biggest babies Captain in Asia I've ever met in their entire lives. But the beats has to work. I appreciate the second chance, fourth chance, a fifth chance, a third chance. Please, beats, work for me.
Please buy Dre's what I need.
Please. Please.
So the guests are playing with weather toys, and Carrie is checking in on Bree, and that's nice. And Bree is like,
I think that Carrie has had quite a bit of experience under her belt, so I'm just happy to have her around to get some extra help. And maybe she can show me a thing or two down in the laundry, like, how do you put beads on shirts?
So then down in the mess, the Deckies are eating, and there's a little tension with Joe and Gail. So she's like, what's going on? He said we were going to pack up, so he told me to get my polo. And Joe's like, shit, am I going in the water? And Gail says, but you did offer. And he's like, well, I'll change then. Don't worry, Gail. She goes, okay, well, I don't have any dry wets. And he goes, you're a princess. And she goes, you're a prick. And it's just like, dun, dun, dun.
And he's like, well, at least we both know where we stand. And Nathan's like, oh, she's going to kill you, bro. She's like, oh, are you annoyed? She goes like, no, I'm chill. But she's like visibly furious. And then she basically leaves and goes to her room. And he's like, I can't be asked with this shit. Is there any reason to cry? And Nathan's like, yeah, you pissed her off. And Gail's basically saying how she's like,
I'm no princess. I don't see Joe doing this to anyone else, and he hasn't done it to me previously. My only theory is at the moment is that, you know, the closer that Nathan gets to me, the more bitchy Joe gets to me, and he's trying to get a reaction out of me, and I'll give you one, and then I'll give you nothing.
Yeah, I think that it's also because you called him out on the girls, so he's very like, a girl told me something.
well,
So Aesha is telling Ellie, isn't it nice that we're so on top of things now? And Ellie's like,
Can I just ask? Carrie was on service today, only for training, right?
and she's like, well, yeah, because when she came on, I said I need to see where you're at, make sure that you're much better than everyone else as I suspect you are, so that I could possibly fire you're doing great.
Ellie, could you just move to the left? You're sort of standing on the rose petals I put down for Carrie.
Oh my God. Ellie, do you want to see me smile?
Yes.
All right, say your name is Carrie and that you're here to save me. Do it. Let's role play.
I am Carrie, and I am here
Oh
to
my
save you.
God, you're a miracle.
You know, I feel kind of like a third wheel, so I was like, how is this going to go for rest of season?
And she's like, well, but you are here too. You were working here as well with me.
But as third wheel, much like my car growing up, only 3 wheels.
Oh, yes, but I did use her on service a lot today because I just want to see what she knows, which is quite a bit because she's so great. God, don't you love Carrie?
Well, I just want to make sure I'm not being demoted.
Oh, but no. I just want you to know you were up here and now you're going to be way down here. Really, I don't even want to speak to you by name anymore. That's how much I respect you. I just want to say, hey, you, possibly throw a rag at your head and then have you maybe sweep something up. Is that going to work for you?
No, at the end of the you're absolutely not going to be demoted, because you're going to be promoted to a lower position, that's all. And at the end of the day, it's also my call. So, shut the fuck up. And so I'll put you where I see fit, which is everywhere, because she's great.
And that gets Ellie. That tells Ellie all she wants to know. And Aisha's like, but it's my call. So if I do want to promote her, I'll promote her. And she's like,
Oh, now I see.
why are you making those noises?
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No!
You are, though.
I'm not.
Listen, Ellie, don't worry. I have some great news for you. I'm giving you a much higher position. If this boat were upside down, you're going lower into the boat, but since we're upside down, it's actually higher into the boat. So congratulations.
And she tells us, well, I understand why Ellie might be feeling insecure. Because she's bullshit and she'll probably get fired if she fucks with me one more time. But I'm here to worry about how much I love my new savior, sister and girlfriend, Carrie, and not about my second stew's feelings.
And that's the end of the episode. So thanks everyone for being here and for listening. And we got an episode of I almost said Chimp Crampy. Chimp Crazy.
Chimp sure is crampy.
Wow, that chimp is very crampy.
Crampy chimp.
Chimp Crazy coming up, so keep your ears and eyes out for that recap, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela.
Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish. It's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
If you like Watch What Crappens, you can listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
BP added more than $130 billion to the U.S. economy over the past 2 years by making investments from coast to coast. Investments like acquiring America's largest biogas producer, Archaea Energy, and starting up new infrastructure in the Gulf of Mexico. It's and, not or. See what doing both means for energy nationwide at bp.com/investing in America.
Welcome to The Offensive Line. You guys, on this podcast, we're going to make some picks, talk some and hopefully make you some money in the process. I'm your host, Annie Hagar. So here's how this show's gonna work, okay? We're gonna run through the weekly slate of NFL and college football matchups, breaking them down into very serious categories like no offense. No offense, Travis Kelce, but you gotta step up your game if Pat Mahomes is saying the Chiefs need to have more fun this year. We're also handing out a series of awards and making picks for the top storylines surrounding the world of football. Awards like the He May Have a Point award for the wide receiver that's most justifiably bitter. Is it Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, or Devontae Adams? Plus, on Thursdays, we're doing an exclusive bonus episode on Wondery Plus, where I share my fantasy football picks ahead of Thursday Night Football and the weekend's matchups. Your fantasy league is as good as locked in. Follow The Offensive Line on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can access bonus episodes and listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.